Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I am an artist who is trying to rebuild her relationship with art. Today, I'll be sharing with you a few pages in my sketchbook. This is the latest painting that I have done on my sketchbook, and the background is essentially a photograph of me and my grandparents when I was about 3 years old. And currently I am still a student, so I have been reflecting on the fact that I have not been communicating with my grandparents due to finals. And when I started grad school at orientation, one of the faculty members talked about asking your family members or friends and partners for grace because there will be periods where you kind of stop communicating with them due to school. So that's what I've been reflecting on because I was going through finals during this time, and I actually completed this after finals when my winter break started. So I have loose painting, but I also have drawing. Like I have color pencil marks and crayon marks, and I'm also kind of using the paintbrush as a drawing tool as well with the different marks that I am making. And I also have text both in Chinese, which I don't speak fluently or write fluently. I can't not write Chinese. And I have text in English. And there are just two conflicting messages that I am writing. So in Chinese, going back to the theme of not speaking to your loved ones when you're going through a period of a busy time, I wrote, forgive me, I wrote, please forgive me, I have final exams, talk to you soon. So please forgive me, I have final exams, talk to you soon. And then these little circles are just periods in Chinese. And then in my English sentence, I wrote, what if I made it home again? And that is a sentence reflecting on how sometimes I am reluctant to visit my grandparents. And just for additional background, I used to live with my grandparents and I moved out, and ever since then I have been reluctant to visit them because it doesn't feel like my space anymore. I have my own space here in where I currently am, and I thought, well, what if I broke that barrier by maybe adding something back into that home where I used to live, such as a belonging that I care about, or a photograph that I like, or an art print that I like, or maybe have my clothes there, just something that belongs to me into their home so that I feel connected and more willing to live there or stay over a couple of times a week. And this painting, I didn't want to, I have tried to paint their face or draw into the faces here, but I didn't want to do that because I felt that the painting was already super busy because I have the text, the different brush marks, and I didn't want to detract away from the painting. Not painting, I'm sorry. Whatever this is, mixed media. And I've also really appreciate how I've been able to play with the texture. Like here I have cake texture, and I also get to play with simplification. So not only did I disregard, the faces, right, but it's a human face because of the values here, but I also get to play with the simplification of a photograph, right? What I've been learning recently is that you don't have to paint or depict everything that you see. You can basically take away things from real life and simplify things on the page. So for example, in the original photograph, there are plates and toothpicks and utensils and additional furniture, but I took that away because I made that choice. And one of And one thing that I also got to appreciate from this work is that I get to utilize the blank spaces here on the page. And when I was oil painting, right, one of the things that I was taught is to cover every surface area, make sure that you don't see any blank parts of the painting. Sorry, blank parts of the canvas. And ever since then, when I would paint on canvas, I will cover every single thing. My oil paintings are very heavy, and I haven't been painting in oil for over a year now. I haven't completed a painting in oil since that time. But what I have been gravitating towards too is just dried and water-based mediums and paper, where I get to connect back to my roots, because I have began art with just paper and crayon and color pencil. And just appreciating these white marks, utilizing that in my painting, I think it really does create a powerful visual image. And if I do ever want to go back to oil painting again, I am considering not using the canvas, but maybe like layering on a cream color paint whenever I want to use negative space. And that's it. And then these Chinese characters, they're kind of ugly. I am kind of embarrassed to show them to a native Chinese speaker or a writer, but I do like it. They kind of remind me of Chinese music videos back in the day, mainly Hong Kongese music videos, where there would be a singer and or a music video essentially, or a singer at a concert singing, and the lyrics are like, well, in Chinese characters, but they're like white characters with a colorful outline or a color inside those characters, and that's very nostalgic to me. And then these characters, they are with color pencil. Initially I wanted to do crayon, but the crayon didn't have the opaqueness to show up on the page, on the layers of paint. And when I say crayon, I literally mean Crayola crayons. These have been my favorite tools. And then I went over with a color pencil, like a color pencil like this. So I will draw on, or write the characters on with my color pencil. Then I go over it with a crayon. Now I'm gonna go backwards to a different page. Okay, this is a drawing that I did in oil pastel, and it's just me at my art program that I volunteer for, and we provide free art programs for people experiencing housing insecurity in New York City, and we are based underground in a soup kitchen, and the soup kitchen has really beautiful arcs, grand arcs with stained glass, and that's what I drew here. And it's just something that I've been drawing continuously over the past year, but it's not in the sketchbook. And then notice how so this is oil pastel, so I use this paper to act as a barrier to prevent it from transferring. But notice how the Chinese characters also translated here, which is super cool. So this is a birthday dinner for my grandma, and it is set in a Chinese restaurant in Brooklyn. And this page has two contrasting pages. On the left side, it's very detailed, and on the right side, it's not that much. It's not detailed. It's just me drawing different utensils like teapots, a soda bottle, chopsticks, plates, teacups. And for the base, I used a yellow marker that was running out of ink. and I think there's a lot of beauty in using markers that are running out of ink, because it creates this nice dry effect, and it's good to use up your art tools. I'm gonna see if I can turn on the light so that I think it's getting darker in my room. Okay, or maybe I should. I think let's just work with this for now. And then so I did live drawing. Essentially, I was drawing this while I was waiting for food, because in Chinese dinners, you order different dishes, but they come at different times. So I drew as the dishes came and go, and I ate when I wanted to. And so in front of here are just figures or family members who are eating, and they're not the best, but it was just for the experience, and hopefully as I continue to draw from life, it would improve. Tablecloths here had floral patterns, so I tried to mimic the floral patterns over here, where you can see the green over the red, and it creates like a blackish bluish color, but that's actually green on red. Then over here at the center, it's just a sculpture of a bok choy, which is a vegetable. I love how when you layer marker and just children's crayons, it creates a very beautiful, intense, and light effect. And that's something that I want to continue to explore when I'm drawing. This page, I was prepping for some live drawing at Grand Central Station, and I wanted to go over this page with markers, but when I was at Grand Central Station, I didn't get to those pages. So here I just did whatever I felt like. I experimented with acrylic and crayon and color pencil and water. So yes, these are the spreads that I have completed at Grand Central Station. I did this page first, and it is of the main area of the Grand Central Station, which is the area with the constellation as the ceiling, and there are big grand windows here. So I drew that, and this is an area where people can walk up to, this area here, and these are the stairwell. I don't know what they're called. They're the barriers that prevent people from falling. But it's beautiful. It's marbled, and there were birds on the window. I could see that. And then here on the left side is probably also kind of interesting. It's two images. The first is a passageway to a different train. I think that says Northeast Passageway. And then I drew one of the, I don't know what they're called, columns that prevent people from falling. So I just drew a small object, enlarged it against an archway. So I basically drew this onto here. And then I have I drew my grandma again, and I drew her with my baby cousin. And again, I am just really enjoying the negative space given by my blank page. Okay. So this is a background of a Van Gogh painting. I don't know what flowers that he painted here. I would put the information up on the video when I'm editing. And I really had a fun time with this. And it was very hard to paint. It took many layers, and took I think about 2 hours. But I really enjoyed it because it made me appreciate something that looks fun and playful. But to get to the fun and playfulness, sometimes it does take some quite time. And it's honestly my favorite pattern from Van Gogh. I have a tote bag that has this painting, and I just love wearing it. It's like wearing a nice emerald green gem on my body. And I was watching a pigeon documentary that took place in London and New York. And again, it's just one of those times where it's a Saturday morning and you want to do something fun, and your sketchbook is there. So your sketchbook is a place to just relax and play, and you can watch whatever you want while you're doing this. And then this is a painting, again a family photograph. I didn't choose this photograph for any significant reason. I just wanted to paint it, and it's very fun as well. It's a grandmother feeding a child with cake, and I really love this cake here and this slice of cake. And again, it's one of those pieces where you learn how to simplify things. I think there was an elaborate floral pattern on tablecloth, but I decided to simplify it with like different shapes and colors using Creole crayons. And then you have a person setting aside a bowl of fruit. In Chinese culture, fruit is always served after dinner or at birthday parties and other special occasions. And you can see how I'm having fun with blocking in color. One thing that I wish I'd done better is the hands. Hands are not straight, there's limbs, so I wish I emphasized that here. Okay. So I've been commuting a lot, as New Yorkers do, but I've been commuting a lot through the A train, which is the express train that runs from Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. And the MTA has installed these giant tablets that always gets desecrated. And these giant tablets will tell people, like, it will have ads and it will tell people when your train is coming. And I was interested in these tablets because, one, I always seen them when I'm commuting as part of my daily life as someone who commutes. So I thought, why not? I should draw this tablet. And also because during this period, I was taking the A train a lot, really frequently, almost daily. So I did that, and I experimented with pointillism and cross-hatching, and I wanted to capture the fact that this tablet it had scratches, it had fractures, because that's what happens in New York, I guess. The theme of simplification still continues, right? This is not accurate, but I hope that it does give a feel of the tablet. And I think my favorite part is these two balls here. So the A train is represented by a blue sphere, so that's the A, but I refrain from drawing the A on it. And then here is a sphere, yellow sphere, with a symbol of the airplane, because the A train takes you to JFK, which is a New York City airport. So I simplified that, and also took some liberties because usually this is smaller and it doesn't go, I think it has to go under the line, doesn't go over the line or in between. But I did that just for creative liberty reasons. And that was it. It was fun. I got to draw it during my commute, and that's it. That's my sketchbook. Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video. This channel is dedicated to documenting my efforts to make art again. And if this resonates with you, please subscribe, and I hope to connect with you soon.